Most people believe that success is the result of a great stroke of luck, a rare talent, or a unique opportunity that appears out of nowhere. But the truth is much simpler, and at the same time, much more powerful. What really builds a prosperous life are the small choices made every day, often without anyone noticing. Think of two people who earn the same salary. One decides to save a small part every month, learn something new every day, and take better care of their time. The other spends everything, postpones decisions, and lives on autopilot. In the first month, there's almost no difference. In 6 months, it still seems the same. But after a few years, the distance between them becomes enormous. Not because one did something extraordinary, but because they added up small, correct decisions over time. This is the same principle as compound interest. With money, it transforms small amounts into large fortunes. In life, it does the same with habits, knowledge, and character. A small daily effort to learn, improve, and act consciously grows silently until it becomes impossible to ignore. The problem is that the effect of small choices doesn't appear immediately. It works in silence. That's why many give up early. They want quick results, but true growth happens when you choose to do the right thing even when no one is watching, even when it seems insignificant. Each daily decision is like a vote for the person you are becoming. What you choose to eat, read, listen to, spend, think, and do today may seem small, but it is shaping your future with precision. Success doesn't explode suddenly. It builds itself day after day, after choice. And from now on, you will understand how simple habits applied daily can completely change the course of your life. Not in decades, but much sooner than you imagine. The way you start the day silently defines the way you will live the next hours. Most people wake up and immediately go into automatic mode. They grab their phone, respond to messages, consume news, and chase after whatever appears. When this happens, the day starts commanding you, and not the other way around. Morning reflection is a small habit, but extremely powerful. It's just 5 to 10 minutes to think before acting. In that time, you ask yourself, what really matters today? Which decisions require more attention? What can't I let distract me? These simple questions put your mind in control. Imagine an airplane pilot who takes off without reviewing the flight plan. Any wind can throw them off course. The same happens with your life. When you start the day without clarity, any interruption becomes a priority. Any urgency becomes an obligation. But when you reflect early on, you create intention. And intention prevents costly mistakes, both financial and personal. This habit also reduces impulsive decisions. Many bad choices happen because the person is tired, rushed, or reacting to external stimuli. Morning reflection works as a filter. It helps you remember your bigger goals before spending money, time, or energy on things that lead nowhere. The most important thing is consistency. It doesn't need to be perfect, nor too deep. It just needs to be daily. In a few days, you start to notice more control. In a few weeks, your decisions become more conscious. And over time, this small moment of silence in the morning transforms into one of the greatest allies of your growth. Few things differentiate people so much throughout life as the habit of daily reading. Not because those who read are more intelligent by nature, but because reading builds, little by little, a solid foundation of knowledge that changes the way of thinking, deciding, and acting. Imagine two people walking the same road. One sees only what is in front of them. The other, in addition to that, carries the experience of hundreds of minds that have already gone through similar paths. Reading is exactly that. learning from mistakes, successes, and ideas of other people without having to pay the full price of those experiences. When you read every day, even if it's for 30 minutes, something silent happens. Your vocabulary improves, your reasoning becomes clearer, and your ability to analyze situations increases. You start to see patterns, to question bad decisions, and to avoid common traps, especially financial ones. Many people say they don't have time to read, but the truth is that time always appears for what is a priority. Exchanging part of social media, television, or consumption of empty content for reading is a small decision, but with gigantic impact in the long term. Continuous reading also creates competitive advantage. While most people consume only quick and superficial information, those who read develop depth. And depth generates security in decisions, less anxiety, and more consistency in results. It doesn't matter if you start slowly. One book per month already puts you ahead of most people. What transforms lives is not occasional reading, but daily habit. And over time, this habit becomes one of the greatest sources of personal, professional, and financial growth. Most people live repeating the same mistakes, not because they are incapable, but because they never stop to analyze what they did. They move forward day after day, expecting different results, without changing the process. Daily review of decisions breaks this silent cycle. Setting aside just 10 minutes to look at the previous day is enough to learn valuable lessons. The goal is not to blame yourself, nor to relive failures, but to understand what worked and what can be adjusted. A simple question changes everything. Did this decision bring me closer or farther from what I want to build? Think of this as fine-tuning. A small mistake repeated daily becomes a big problem over time, but a small correction made early prevents bigger losses in the future. This habit strengthens judgment and teaches you to recognize patterns in your own behavior. In the financial field, this practice is even more powerful. Many bad decisions happen on impulse, emotion, or fatigue. When you review what you did, you start to notice triggers: unnecessary spending, hasty choices, promises that weren't kept. And by noticing, you gain control. This habit also develops responsibility. You stop blaming external factors and start taking command of your own choices. Gradually, your decisions become more conscious, more strategic, and less reactive. It's not about perfection, it's about evolution. Those who review learn faster. Those who learn faster advance with fewer mistakes. And, in the long term, it's these small daily corrections that build a more stable, productive, and prosperous life. Many people see exercise only as something related to the body, but in practice, it is one of the most powerful tools to strengthen the mind and discipline. It's not about aesthetics, nor about performance. It's about consistency and energy to sustain a productive life over the years. Setting aside 20 to 30 minutes per day to move creates an effect that goes far beyond the physical. When you fulfill this small daily commitment, you are training your ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And this ability is reflected directly in finances, work, and important decisions. Physical movement improves focus, reduces stress, and increases mental clarity. Many bad decisions are made when the mind is tired or overloaded. By taking care of the body, you are taking care of the foundation that sustains all other areas of your life. It doesn't need to be something complex. A walk, simple exercises, or any activity that slightly raises the heart rate is enough. The important thing is regularity. Small daily efforts surpass large sporadic efforts. Over time, this habit creates a positive cycle. More energy generates more willingness to learn, work better, and maintain financial discipline. And when the body is in motion, the mind follows. Those who ignore their own body pay this price in the future. Those who take care of it daily gain time, clarity, and productivity. And it's these factors that sustain consistent growth, not just today, but for many years. One of the biggest thieves of focus and clarity in modern life is constant comparison with others. People look outward all the time and forget to look inward. They measure their value, their achievements, and even their financial decisions based on other people's lives. And this almost always leads to bad choices. Comparison creates a false sense of delay. You start to think you're falling behind, even when you're evolving. This generates haste, anxiety, and often unnecessary spending to keep up appearances. Impulsive purchases, poorly thought-out investments, and emotional decisions almost always stem from this silent habit. Each person is at a different stage of life, with distinct challenges, resources, and opportunities. Comparing different paths doesn't make sense. The only real progress is the one you make in relation to yourself, not in relation to others' pace. When you focus on your own growth, something changes. Decisions become calmer, more rational, and aligned with your long-term goals. You stop chasing what impresses and start building what sustains. Avoiding comparison doesn't mean ignoring the world, but carefully choosing what influences your decisions. Less exposure to content that awakens envy and more attention to your own process bring mental clarity and emotional stability. Those who learn to compete only with themselves build a more solid path. And, in the long term, this simple choice protects your money, your energy, and your peace. 3 assets worth more than any external appearance. Most people know what needs to be done to have a better life, but few can wait the necessary time for results to appear. Impatience is one of the main reasons why good plans fail, but the ability to delay rewards is what sustains great achievements. Delayed gratification means choosing what is best tomorrow, even when something easier and immediate is available today. It's saying no to unnecessary spending now to have financial freedom later. It's continuing to learn and dedicate yourself even when there's still no recognition or visible return. In financial life, this habit makes all the difference. Real investments don't grow overnight. They need time, consistency, and discipline. Those who seek quick results usually pay dearly for hasty decisions. Those who know how to wait build something solid. Patience also protects against emotional choices. When you understand that progress is gradual, you don't feel the need to skip steps. This reduces risks, avoids frustrations, and keeps you on the right path, even when results seem slow. This habit isn't born ready. It's trained daily in small choices. Every time you resist an impulse and maintain focus on the long term, you're strengthening this ability. Over time, it becomes natural. The greatest results in life belong to those who can wait, persist, and maintain consistency. Patience is not passivity, it's strategy. And when well applied, it transforms consistent effort into lasting achievements. Many wrong decisions don't happen due to lack of intelligence, but due to lack of clear rules. When emotion comes into play and there are no defined principles, any impulse seems like a good idea. The checklist of personal principles serves exactly to avoid this type of mistake. This habit consists of having some simple rules that guide your life and reviewing them daily. Principles like don't spend what doesn't generate value, think long-term before deciding, don't act under emotional pressure. When these rules are clear, decisions become easier and less exhausting. Think of this checklist as a map. When you know where you want to go, it's harder to get lost. It works as an automatic brake against impulsive decisions, especially in moments of fatigue, haste, or external pressure. Reviewing these principles every day reinforces who you are becoming. Gradually, your actions begin to naturally align with your bigger goals. You make fewer mistakes, adjust faster, and maintain consistency even on difficult days. In the financial field, this habit is extremely valuable. It prevents purchases driven by emotion, investments driven by trends, and choices made just to please others. You start to decide based on criteria, not on momentary feelings. Those who live without clear principles react to the world. Those who define them and review them daily act with intention. And this difference, accumulated over time, builds stability, confidence, and sustainable growth. No one builds a solid life alone. The people you interact with daily influence your decisions, your habits, and even the way you see the future. Therefore, cultivating high-value relationships is a small habit, but with profound impact over time. High-value relationships are not defined by status or money, but by attitude. They are people who encourage growth, responsibility, discipline, and conscious choices. They don't push you toward easy shortcuts, nor toward impulsive decisions. On the contrary, they help maintain focus on what really matters. This cultivation happens in simple gestures, listening attentively, exchanging constructive ideas, maintaining contact, offering support when necessary. It doesn't require big actions, just consistency. Small daily care strengthens connections that become valuable at the right moments. In the financial and professional field, these relationships function as filters. They broaden your vision, offer more rational advice, and help avoid mistakes you might make alone. A good conversation at the right time can save years of misdirected effort. Likewise, learning to distance yourself respectfully from relationships that drain energy is also part of this habit. Not out of judgment, but out of preservation. The right environment strengthens good decisions. Over time, you realize that quality is worth more than quantity. Surrounding yourself with the right people sustains your discipline, reinforces your principles, and accelerates your growth in a healthy and consistent way. A large part of the difficulties in maintaining good habits doesn't come from lack of willpower, but from excess negative influences around. Sensationalist news, excessive consumption of social media, and content loaded with negativity enter the mind every day and corrode focus without the person noticing. When you constantly expose yourself to this type of content, your mind enters a permanent state of alert. This generates anxiety, distraction, and impulsive decisions. In the financial field, this translates into fear, haste, and poorly thought-out choices. People who are over-informed, but with little depth, end up paralyzed or acting without criteria. Limiting toxic influences doesn't mean disconnecting from the world, but consciously choosing what you consume, reducing time on social media, filtering news, and avoiding content that stimulates comparison or fear, restores mental clarity and emotional control. This habit creates space for better things to enter. More silence, more focus, and more time for activities that truly contribute to your growth. When the mind is clear, decisions become more rational and aligned with the long term. Small changes make a big difference. Trading minutes of negative content for reading, reflection, or quality rest already completely alters the way you think and react. Those who control what enters the mind protect their habits, their money, and their energy. And this daily protection sustains a more stable, productive, and conscious life. The day can end any way, but the way you close it makes all the difference in your growth. Nighttime reflection is the moment when you close the cycle of daily learning and prepare the ground for better decisions the next day. Setting aside 5 to 10 minutes before sleeping to review the day brings clarity and awareness. You think about what you did well, what could have been different, and what you learned. It's not a moment of blame, but of understanding. Each day analyzed transforms into experience, not into repetition of mistakes. This habit helps calm the mind. By organizing thoughts and recognizing small advances, you reduce anxiety and improve the quality of rest. A calmer mind sleeps better, and those who sleep better decide better. In the financial and personal field, this practice prevents days from passing blank. You start to notice patterns, behaviors, and choices that repeat, and by noticing, you gain the power to adjust. Small corrections made daily prevent big problems in the future. Nighttime reflection also reinforces gratitude and responsibility. You end the day aware of what was built, even if in small steps. This creates consistency and strengthens discipline. When this habit becomes part of the routine, growth stops being random and becomes intentional. You don't just live the days, you learn from them. And that's how, day after day, small actions build a real and lasting transformation. Many people believe that financial planning is something complicated, done only by specialists or by those who already have a lot of money. But in practice, the best results come from something simple and done every day. It's not about complex numbers, but about awareness. Setting aside 5 to 10 minutes per day to look at your finances completely changes your relationship with money. In that time, you check what came in, what went out, and mainly whether these expenses are aligned with what you want to build in the future. This small habit prevents surprises and decisions made in the dark. When you don't track money, it disappears without explanation. When you track it, you start to command it. Small financial leaks that previously went unnoticed start to become clear. Useless subscriptions, impulse spending, and automatic choices lose strength when they are observed daily. This habit also reduces anxiety. A large part of financial stress comes from lack of clarity. When you know exactly where you are, it's easier to decide where to go. Planning daily doesn't trap you. On the contrary, it gives freedom. Complex spreadsheets aren't necessary. A notebook, a simple app, or even quick notes already work. The power is in consistency, not in the tool. Over time, this habit creates discipline, long-term vision, and security in decisions. And just like compound interest, daily financial clarity accumulates, transforming small controls into great results. Money grows when it's well managed, but it only exists because time was used the right way before. That's why consciously controlling time is one of the most underestimated habits and most powerful to change life in the long term. Most people feel that the day goes by too fast, but don't know exactly where the time went. Small distractions, constant interruptions, and tasks without priority consume hours that never come back. Conscious time control begins when you decide, in advance, how it will be used. Creating small daily time blocks for important activities completely changes the game. One period to learn, another to take care of finances, another for deep work. Even short blocks, when well-defined, generate consistent results. This habit reduces the feeling of always running behind. When time has a destination, the mind becomes calmer and more focused. You stop reacting to what appears and start acting with intention. In the financial and professional field, this generates clear advantage. People who protect their time produce more, learn more, and make fewer mistakes. They don't do more things. They do the right things. It's not about rigidity, but about respect for your own time. By treating it as a valuable resource, you naturally start to make better decisions, avoid waste, and build real progress day after day. Many people carry a full mind, but can't organize their own thoughts. Loose ideas, repeated worries, and poorly defined decisions create internal confusion. Daily writing solves this simply and powerfully. Setting aside just 5 minutes to write, without rules, without concern for form, helps bring order to the mind. By writing, you take thoughts from the abstract field and transform them into something concrete. This reduces mental noise and increases clarity. This habit improves decision-making. When you write about a problem, it loses emotional force and gains logical form. What seemed confusing starts to make sense. In the financial field, this prevents impulsive decisions because you start to think before acting. Daily writing also reveals patterns. Over the days, you start to notice repetitions. Same fears, same excuses, same opportunities ignored. And noticing is the first step to change. It doesn't need to be beautiful nor long. A few lines are enough. The value is in consistency, not in quantity. Over time, this habit strengthens self-knowledge, discipline, and focus. And a clear mind builds better results, because well-thought-out decisions always cost less than hasty decisions. Many people believe that learning requires large blocks of time, long courses, or radical changes in routine. But true growth happens when learning becomes daily, light, and constant. It's micro-learning that builds advantage in the long term. Learning something new every day can mean reading a few pages, listening to a part of a book, studying a simple concept, or reflecting on a different idea. It's not about quantity, it's about continuity. Small daily learnings accumulate silently and powerfully. This habit keeps the mind active and adaptable. In a world that changes fast, those who learn a little every day react better to opportunities and challenges. In the financial field, this prevents dependence on others' opinions and reduces errors caused by lack of understanding. Micro-learning also strengthens self-confidence. When you realize you're constantly evolving, even if in small steps, insecurity decreases and clarity increases. Decisions start to be based on knowledge, not on fear. This habit doesn't require perfection. Some days the learning will be minimal, and that's okay. What matters is not breaking the sequence. Consistency beats intensity. Over time, learning a little every day completely transforms your way of thinking, acting, and deciding. And this continuous transformation creates results that seem big, but were born from small choices. Throughout this video, you realize that no real change happens all at once. Life doesn't transform through one big isolated event, but through the sum of small habits practiced every day. Reflection, reading, movement, patience, financial clarity, and time control seem simple, but when repeated, they create a powerful effect. Each habit presented here works as a small course correction. Alone, it may seem little, but together, they completely change the destination. That's how ordinary people build extraordinary results, not by doing more than others, but by doing better, consistently. The most important thing is to start. Don't try to apply everything at once. Choose one habit, practice today, and repeat tomorrow. Real progress doesn't require haste, it requires continuity. And those who respect this process reap lasting results. If this content made sense to you, share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Sometimes, a simple choice, like sending this video, can help another person change the course of their own life. And remember, small, daily decisions build great stories. Yours begins now.